Hello and welcome back to the Arctic Winter Mine here in Out of Ore, of course. So in the last episode there we did some coal mining and managed to do a coal quest there. So the objective today is to come down here and do some gravel quests. So we need about 28,000 gravel there. So at the moment our plant is set up to send our gravel into this froth floater. So what we need to do is change our line at this point. So we're in fact collecting our gravel, not just sending it straight into the automated smelting there. So I went ahead there and bought ourselves a storage. So let's put this on here. Okay, that's for water. That's the water input to our froth floater. And let's throw a couple of blocks under that there just to support it. Those are not blocks, those are ramp pieces. Okay, let's get the actual block. There we go, and there's a little bit of support for that storage for the time being. So our jaw crusher and cone crusher are going to feed our gravel into the storage now. So let's go ahead up here to our mine and actually get into the meat of what I'm going to do. So our gravel is exposed here in our tunnel, so we're going to use the tunneling machine along with the rock truck there to gather as much as we can, and working towards level 38 there for our next upgrade. Now let's just quickly remind myself how to use this. So let's put that boom up. We don't want to hit the ceiling too high from what I remember. So we can go ahead here. Okay, let's put you in high gear for now. Let's go ahead and get that drill bit turned on. And there we go. Shaking all over the place. So let's go ahead and lower the drill bit to hopefully ease that a little bit. Okay, it's perhaps the high gear that is causing the shaking. So let's go ahead and put you into low. Nice full loads of gravel there, obviously. Throw her into high gear and back it up to my little truck here. Okay, so we're traveling quite a distance there to my truck. So in fact what I want to do is jump out here and move that loading bay in there a couple of blocks. Quite a bit actually I can come in. So let's park up this machine where I want it. Let's go ahead here then and start removing the blocks that I don't need. I may have to get the loader in here to scrape out this a little bit, but let's just see how it goes for now. Okay, and how would that be looking? We can come a little bit further in fact, and a little bit further again even. So I have a little bit of digging to do, but there's some gravel mixed in with that pay dirt, so it will help towards our cause today. Yeah, so a little bit of a clean up to do there with the loader, but it shouldn't take too long. The dump deck is not a million miles away. Okay, let's go ahead and get this rock truck out of the way. So we can park you up. Driving through that cable there, that's not ideal obviously, but let's park you up here. Nice and out of the way. Let's find my loader. It's nice and close, thankfully. Go ahead and scoop out this. Quite a lot of pay dirt in that. So our efforts won't be for nothing. Okay, let's full load really quickly there. We'll be through this in no time, I'm sure of it. Alrighty. Let's just scrape out this whole right side here first. A little bit too low there. That should do nicely. There we go. Catching on my wall there, that's not ideal. Okay, let's go forward. Realign ourselves. continue on this right side from now. Try not to scrape too much, just get the bare minimum of what we need. Hopefully one more then, maybe two more actually to get this bit done here. We'll take the rest of that by hand, maybe it's not too much left in there. Nice full easy buckets, quick money. Or quick ores I should say. Of course we're going to process them into ignites before we get rid of them. Turn a little bit into the left there, good. Let's try and get as much of this out as we can. So let's go straight for now and then we'll turn to the left, get as much of that as possible. Catching underneath the concrete there, that's okay, we're out safely. Couple more scoops now and we can jump out and start fixing this the way we would like it. Not ideal there. My camera won't play ball with me. Okay, there we go. Scraping a little bit too much down, but that's alright, no problem. I'll have to come into that right side there for another scoop, just to clean it up a little bit better. Right, let's get that bucket where I want it. There we go. One more scoop on the left end and let's clean it up and get some more support there with those mesh walls and get our little concrete base down to this level. There we go, scoop. Good. Catching my teeth there underneath that. Alrighty, let's get this loader pulled up out of the way then. Should do nicely. And back that truck back into somewhat of a position. Not exactly where I want it, but we can get it a little bit closer. With some efficiency, minimal of course. There we go, let's get you back close to your home. Now a little bit of building required, which shouldn't take too long. Let's get you on grid build there. Beautiful. recycling the concrete that I picked up, of course. Okay, a little bit to do there with the axe, but no big deal. A little bit in this corner here as well. We do have steel walls there. So let's go ahead and make use of those. So that's on grade. I want snap, I guess, right? Yes. And the roof is caving a little bit here, so let's just expand this wire framework that we have. As you can see, it collapsing on my head. That's okay. 2 seconds now and we will have that under control, hopefully. Let's get into first person view here just to make this slightly easier. So that frat floater is on my way in the bear. Let's get our I messed that up. The stealing, I am saying. Stealing. Oops, that's lost up there to this pay dirt, never to be gotten again. That's no problem. Okay, our machinery is in our way. Alrighty, there we go, and a few more steel walls and we can get back to our mining. Now let's go ahead and let's just get rid of this kind of lip here. I don't think we'll be too worried about that little piece of pay dirt. Alright, let's back this rock truck in here then and we can get to what we're doing. How is that looking there now? Hopefully I left myself enough room to maneuver. Ah, it should be fine. Nice and close. Beautiful. Get rid of that. There we go. Alrighty then, so low gear and let's get this drill bit turned up. Get as much as this blasted rock as we can. Full load, throw it into high gear and back it up. Let's try and spread this over the back of my truck there fairly evenly. Okay, that's nice there. Can close that up. Let's turn slightly to the left here and start scraping. Grab a little bit of pay dirt. Well, we have no choice but to grab it. Let's throw that into low gear there. What are we stuck on there now? Yeah, we continue. Doesn't feel like drilling. We're scraping a little bit of that floor as we come back. Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit. There we go. We can hit the other side of that rock truck there. Beautiful. And it is nice and quick to fill that rock truck with this machine. Okay, so I see what we're hitting. We're hitting some solid rock there, so we'll have to get out some dynamite and blast again pretty soon. There's still plenty of material here that we can grab before we go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's try and scrape the ceiling there a little bit. Okay, that might be too high there. Don't want to lose any material to that ceiling there. It kind of deletes it if it hits it too much. can close that up. Let's get that on. Get it in low gear. Let's take a couple of higher ones this time. I can position my camera. See what we're getting. There we go. It's pretty nice. Okay, a couple of lower ones perhaps. There we go. Little bit janky, the turning on this machine, but I probably don't use it enough to be, you know, completely comfortable in use and like used to using the controls on it. Alrighty, let's get over here and scrape this out. Put that into low gear to make it slightly easier, more controlled. There we go. Scrape the top there, come back in for the second turn. That is full. Alrighty, one or two more loads into this truck then and we can go ahead and dump that first load. Don't lose too much over the side there. So we can come around to this right side now. Just take a bit from the top. There we go. Nice and full. Alrighty. So, kind of getting caught up a little bit there. That's a nice even load there. Losing a little bit over the side, but no big deal. Alrighty, let's go ahead then and get this dumped. Overloaded, but not to an extreme. Losing a little bit there as we move out of the tunnel, but that's alright. Back that up ever so slightly. There we go. Nice full load of gravel. Wondering how much gravel that's. I think we need about 24k we said there to get a quest done. So let's do another load or two and I'm sure we'll have plenty then. There we go. So let's get out some Anfo here and kind of blast down a little bit of the ceiling here so we're not scraping so much. There, the Anfo. Let's not go crazy, but let's get a decent amount to this blasted down. Okay, back it up. We can detonate. Okay. Not too bad. So let's raise this. Didn't leave ourselves much room to play with here, but let's get that down. Get low gear and get that drill bit turned on, and we can scrape directly ahead of us. And it's just chewing through it like it's nothing, as you would expect. Yeah, let's line ourselves up here if we can. Drill bit getting stuck on the side there. It's not ideal. Okay, not ideal at all. Forward a little bit. Okay, turn. Okay, that will do. So low gear, drill bit on. Scrape this rock. getting a nice chunk of that there. Good. And we're nicely lined up. Straight back. And dump. Okay, let's continue on this right side here. Getting a little bit stuck there, but we can move it around just to free ourselves. Yeah, let's continue over here then. Let's get this cleaned out. Back it up there, and let's take a little bit higher there on the bill, on the drill bit I should say. Okay. That's full enough, we can go ahead and dump that. Let's raise that down ever so slightly. Oops. Couple more loads then and we can go ahead and dump again. Alright, let's try and make ourselves a little bit more space to the left here. Low gear and get my bait turned on. Slightly catching on something, so I'll raise the drill bit for now. We'll come back in for another scrape on the bottom. Okay, that is nice and full. Okay, so let's turn in, get it on, go forward, scrape as much as we can off that ground. There we go. Throw it into high gear. That should be plenty. I think we're gonna fit one more load into this then and we can dump again. Right, let's turn here. Scrape a bit off this side if we can. Beautiful. Good machine this, is just a shame that the capacity is a little bit low on it. But that's okay. Be nice if you could like upgrade it and buy, I don't know, maybe a conveyor on the back of it that is twice as wide, or I don't know if I would want one that is twice as long, but if you could get a wider conveyor on the back of it, I think it would be pretty neat. Into high gear there. Alright, let's close that up and put it back into position there. So let's get this dumped, and what we can actually do is run over to our little storage unit there that's coming off our cone and jar crusher and check how much that first load gave us of gravel. Let's get this dumped. We should be able to run over there to that storage before this reaches the facility, of course. There we go. Nice full load. Alrighty, let's run over there and see how it's looking. Space a little bit tight there. It is slightly cramped, but that's okay. So we got, so one truckload is giving us basically a stack of gravel there, which is decent, I would say. So we need to do, you know, maybe 5 full loads in this truck. We can get 2 gravel quests done, which will give us, 55k experience, you could say, which is quite a lot. We're closing in on level 37 there. Oops, running back to my mind, but forgetting this very important piece of equipment here. Back her up and let's get it loaded up again. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try and clear this out a bit here so we have a bit more room to maneuver. So let's turn it and back it up first, then we can turn into it, hopefully. Kind of getting a little bit caught there, but let's take it little by little. Yeah, let's just back it up there and scrape this ground slightly more. A bit more, and we are full. And let's just scrape as much of that left as we can. Low gear is kind of catching us up there from time to time. We just need to come a little bit back out and reposition. Alrighty, full again. Okay, that should do nicely. No problems there. Plenty of room to dump it into. Alright, let's try and continue to the left here. It's not being too easy right now. I'm getting caught on the side of my truck there. Okay. Now, we're in position. Let's clean this up. Same capacity on this machine as the L11, if you were like kind of curious as to how much material it holds there. So one full bucket on the loader is the equivalent to the full bucket on this bucket conveyor, I should say. Alright, so let's get this drill bit more to the left here if we can. Now we're kind of all cut up. It is a tight space and I'm not really good at this. Okay, can we back you and turn? Maybe can't. Doesn't feel like turning right now. That's okay. Okay, that's good, very good. A bit cut up, just back it up and go again. Okay, good. Alright, let's turn that drill bit in now. We came for gravel, but as usual, I'm kind of just trying to keep things clean and tidy as I go. So what we can do now is just kind of reposition ourselves to the left here. Let's back it up here and scrape along this wall here. It's nice and clean. A little bit of gravel in that dirt as well, don't want to lose that. Alrighty, so let's just scrape here. Camera angle is not great. So let's just turn it in there. Yeah, that's good. Very nice indeed. let's actually back it up there and take another chunk off that ground. There we go. A little bit better. Can hand mine the rest out there, no problem. Careful. Let's just try and maneuver this over down. There we go. Can we reach from here? Really does not want to turn for me, this machine. There we go, that's nice then. So that's a little bit too high, we're going to lose that into the ceiling unfortunately. Let's just drop it down there and see. Back it up a little bit. Alright, that should do nicely. There we go. So, let's just drop it here and see if we can't get the rest of this off the ground there. Turning. Hopefully we'll run into some more blasted rock or solid rock here pretty soon on this side. Yeah, there is some there is just some dirt in the way right now. Okay, it doesn't want to drill for me. Come on. Alright, let's straighten our machine out just ever so slightly here. Take a little chunk out of here with us. We are full actually, that is the problem. We can done. Beautiful. Okay, so we can start to straighten up here again. Just try and take a bit off the top there, perhaps. If I turn the drill bit on, it would help, of course. Beautiful. And I think we can fit one more load in there quite comfortably. So let's go and get it. I think that may need to be blasted with the info, but let's try. No, we're good. Okay, we are full. That should do it for this load. Mostly paid up in this one unfortunately, but we're back into the gravel, or not the gravel, the rock I should say. Okay, there we go. Oops, too soon. Too eager to get back in there and start filling it again. Alrighty, that's nicely in position there. Let's get out here and upgrade our little tunnel slightly. Get rid of this. Don't think there's much point to scrap that with the tunneler there. It's encroaching through the metal bars here a little bit, but that's okay. You would assume that's what happens in a mine if you had to have if you had this kind of support on there. Rebar, I guess it is. Alright, let's put you on grid build and get ourselves a bit of a foundation there. Keep ourselves going as straight as possible. It is expensive, but it is worth it in my opinion, at least. Kinda keep things nicely aligned. It would be nice if we eventually tunneled through this whole mountain, but unsure if that's ever gonna happen, to be honest. It seems like maybe it is possible if you dedicated yourself to it. every day, but I kind of have a few different operations going on here in the mines. So to just do this constantly, I'm not sure how long I would take to get bored of it. But it's nice that we have some gravel here that we're working towards. Alright, let's keep building our supports here so we don't get a huge cave in and have to mine it all out. Let's keep going all the way there. Give ourselves a nice guide as well so we're not kind of channeling into the wall there too far. Alright, let's get ourselves some ceilings then. Which you can see are badly needed as it caves in on my head. But I do like this rebar wall and ceilings. When you look directly at it, it doesn't look amazing, but when you're kind of looking at it with an angle, it's a very nice aesthetic. And I guess you could paint this a different color if you wanted. I'm not sure. I don't look too much into the painting in this game. Couple more pieces then and we'll get back to our mining here. But this tunnel is going quite well, I would say. Really happy with it. Let's throw in another couple of roof pieces while we're here. We're going to have to do it at some point anyway. Got a bit of a floater there. Try and get rid of this. Now. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, our machine will be able to grab that, no problem. So let's go ahead and grab it right now, in fact. There we go. A little bit of a speck left there. Okay, we got a nice full load there. Let's back it up. Alrighty, we can start scraping our floor here again. A little bit more down there with that drill, please. Full already. We almost need to expand our loading platform here already, or not expand, but make it larger so this truck can back in a bit further already. We'll get another couple of loads out of here before we think about doing that, I should say. Alright, let's try and swing it around to the left here and clean up this floor a little bit if we can. Alright, we can drop it slow gear and build it on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Let's continue to work on this left side here. We have the space to do so. scrape the side. Turn out from my wall there a little bit. We can raise that drill there. Let's not go down too far. And we're full. Alright, let's swing this around, or attempt to swing it around. Let's try and reposition ourselves. Give ourselves a better angle here to get out of this wall. One more load and then should do this one. So let's try and make it as a full load of gravel. There we go, I'm going to go ahead and call that full. Okay, so I think once I get back into the tunnel there, I'm going to continue to work on that left side. Just so when I do kind of expand this loading bay back into the tunnel, I'm not getting caught up so much on it like I did last time. We've a bit more work to do here. I think we can get one or two more full loads before I think about moving this bay back a bit. I guess the way I kind of envision this tunnel working is I'm moving the least amount possible with this tunneler and the most amount I can with that rock truck there. It is a big old thing, but it is pretty speedy, I would say. It is, you know, pretty fast compared to this machine. There we go, that's beautiful. Let's continue on this side then. I could probably actually get some manfo out here and do a little bit of blasting perhaps. Let's throw it into low gear there anyway and scrape the side. And I think I will in fact get out there and break out the Anfa. Let's blow this, let's get myself onto Snapple there and blow this little ledge off. Let's not try to go too mad here, but that should do nicely. Right in front of my drill there, so let's go ahead and scoop this up. Mostly pay dirt, but that's okay. We can come back for another load of gravel, no problem whatsoever. Let's just come straight back in. Okay, let's turn that bit to the left there. To the right I turned it the wrong way. That's alright, no problem. All of this is coming out one way or another. let's take a little bit from the right hand side here. Drop that bit down. Start scraping. Got some floaters there. I'll try and take care of those with some explosives. Maybe I will get it with the info when I'm blasting that side. Or once we get far enough away from this part, we won't notice them. That's quite a while away. Anyway, let's get one more load here and we can dump it. Let's turn a little bit there. I'm gonna take too much out of there. And let's just realign it real quickly. Run into high gear there. Get myself out of there. And again, she doesn't really want to turn for me, it just kind of slides, but it's okay, we're full. Alrighty. Let's get ourselves lined up and get this into the truck. There we go. Might lose a bit over the back there, let's back it up slightly. Okay, then I think I want to take one more load and then we may work on expanding my loading back here. A little bit left there, let's get rid of that. There we go. Alrighty then, let's kinda eye this up here. So I need to scrape a little bit out of this side and come back to about here maybe. Actually, we are fine for a while. I'm not sure why I'm so eager to dig that out a bit more. Let's continue to build up that. Oops. Almost out of concrete blocks again, but that's okay. Oh, please. No. Alrighty, let's get ourselves another load of mostly gravel here if we can. Let's continue on the right hand side there. It's been a long day at work today. I am absolutely exhausted, so I think we're going to get one more load done here and probably call it a night at that. Of course, try and do that gravel crust, which was my original goal to set out here and do. But I think we got quite a bit of gravel there, so there should be no hassle doing that. It would have been nice if I could have done it twice, but I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. Alrighty, let's get over here to the very right side. And scrape the ground a little bit there as well, why not? Come back for a higher one next time, perhaps. Alrighty. Take a good chunk of that overhang with that for sure. That is nice. Very nice. Yeah, let's actually back it out here and take a little bit more with us as we come. That's actually going to give us a full load there. There we go. Turn slightly, get that drill bit turned on, and take as much of this with us as we can. Beautiful. Throw it into low gear there. We're not bouncing all over the place. And we are full. Beautiful. Back her up. Another couple of loads then and we should be good to go. Nice one. Take a couple more chunks out of this middle bit here and we will be fairly even then, or whenever we get in here to the tunnel for the next session. Next time I think I want to do a little bit of work up on top of the hill there. Keep working on that platform and that shelf that we're doing. Nice easy one for the drill bit there, absolutely chewing through that. There we go. Okay, let's turn a little bit here and we can scrape off the ground again, why not? Oops, forgot to close the tailgate there. Let's raise it. Don't want to scrape too much of that paydirt. Let's get ourselves a bit of gravel here, or plastic rock I should say. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, beautiful. We're level 37. It's one level to go then. Until we unlock that new loader. Should be interesting. I think we can get another load into this. Let's go get it. So let's take a little bit of higher one here off the middle, I think. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, we can back it up there. Let's drop that bit. Throw it into high gear, perhaps. There we go. That habit of always turning the wrong way. That's a nice full load of gravel there to finish the session with the tunneler, so we can jump out here now and throw down the rest of our foundation that we can fit. Put in some more walls and some ceilings. Then we'll run over to our storage there and see how well we did with that gravel. We need to go ahead there and buy ourselves some concrete. And it's the normal concrete. Get rid of that text. So we went, let's just go ahead and buy a bunch of those. We use them all the time. Alright, a couple of walls here. There we go. Couple of ceilings. Stop those cave-ins. And we're kind of advancing nicely in this tunnel now. I didn't expect to make this much progress today. It feels like we went quite far. And we've reached the other side there. Let's just throw in a few more going forward. Oops. Wasting them. I must have 20 or 30 roof pieces now just randomly snapped in all the way along. We have a couple more walls, let's throw them down there. Hopefully we have enough to finish this little section here. We should. And we do. Beautiful. So the tunnel is looking quite good there. I think the next day I come back I'll probably take maybe one load and then look at expanding this dock back to about here. But yeah, for now that is decent, I would say. Alrighty, and we got a very full load here of gravel. That is nice. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of time to work its way down the conveyor there, but we'll give it a second to do its thing. And down here we can see it dumping into the hopper, which is going to work it through our production system here. So let's actually check our storage here. So we did okay with gravel. I thought we would have done quite a bit better actually, but I guess we took a lot of pay dirt with us as well. We have a little bit of ore in here, but that sluice box wasn't completely clean, you know. That's not all from this session. Don't be kind of thinking that the tunneler there is an efficient dirt mover. I mean, it's reasonable, but it's not amazing. So we can still see our dirt running through the system there. So we should have the last little bit of gravel coming into our storage now. So we can go ahead here to our quests and gravel. So we need 28,000 gravel. Surely we have this. Let's take that quest there. And we do. So I'm going to go ahead now and sell all of this gravel. So we're at the start of level 37 there. Let's see how far along that this is going to bring us. It's 62k for a full stack of gravel there. It's not amazing, but it's decent-ish. So it gives us not quite half a level, about 40% of a level there, I would say. That's very nice. So now I want to go ahead and fix my planter. I don't think we'll be doing the gravel quest again. So we have the coal quest and the gravel quest done. I don't want to spam them too much, you know. So we can go ahead here and get our froth floater back in place. And hopefully everything just reconnects like it was, and it does. That's beautiful. Okay, so in the next episode I think I want to get back on top of the platform there and continue to work. Maybe with the excavator there, maybe with the loader. We'll see how that goes. This tunnel I am quite happy with. So I'm not sure why that looks different. I think maybe I rotated my pieces there. But it's okay, who cares, right? Maybe I will go and change that. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm tired. But cheers for watching. All the best. Thank you. Bye bye.